that they're a combination between, I guess they're the bard because they're the musician, but they're almost like warriors because you also have a sword.
Changing the world, one blockchain at a time, with George Levy. Brought to you by Blockchain Institute of Technology.
Hi, and welcome to Changing the World One Blockchain at a Time, where we feature the leading minds and personalities in blockchain, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. Today's guest is Jeff Fawkes, who's better known in the crypto world as BitPainter. Jeff is a respected crypto journalist and a talented digital artist whose work merges the worlds of Bitcoin, blockchain, and visual storytelling. Jeff, great pleasure speaking with you.
Hello, it's a pleasure for me too.
I'm very excited. I've actually been following your work. The team at Bits Online highly admires you. You're a journalist. A lot of the things actually you publish have a big impact because a lot of people don't really know what's going on in the world of crypto, Bitcoin. You never know who you can trust, and you're one of those respected voices. So it's a real pleasure to speak with you, Jeff.
Thank you.
The focus that I want to get to is, and what's amazing is that you're not just a journalist, you're also an artist. In fact, how you're best known is as BitPainter. And that's a name that carries a lot of weight because your work, the beauty of it is that it's original work and it's truly you. It carries a message to it. There's a philosophy behind what you're doing. And that's a huge difference from all the AI stuff and junk that's being pushed out. It's good to see a true artist. So the focus of this interview, where I like to go to, is getting into your crypto art side. So can you tell us a little bit more about your journey into crypto art? How did you get into Bitcoin, blockchain, and how did they inspire your creative work?
Well, my Bitcoin and blockchain journey have started back in 2015 when I got interested in crypto while doing a report for local press. Like local people were very interested in it, but everybody said just it's some scam, it's some shady thing, it's Bitcoin is some funny internet money, it it is not so important. But like here in Ukraine, a lot of people were interested, so I got in and I made a report for just the usual classic press. And then I understood that it's like it's not a scam; it's some interesting technology that something big is brewing here. And then I switched to like crypto reporting. So I reached out to all of those websites like with news, and not many of them were back then. And I just started working with them. And while I were preparing my translations and like interviews and some opposite editorial pieces, I needed images for articles. And then at one point, I thought that if I'm an artist, I could prepare my own pictures for my reports. So that's how it was the first step when I mixed my art and my digital art with crypto related pieces. And obviously most people read such pieces to know how to make money, how to invest, and they are not really interested, at least back then they were not really interested in art, but the pictures were looking nice in the articles, so I liked it, and it just I kept it up.
That's
I kept
fantastic.
making illustrations for all of my not all of my pieces, but all of the pieces that I really like.
The thing that's interesting about it, and you mentioned it in passing, you're currently in Ukraine. And just putting it in the context of a decentralized world and this type of interview that we're having, a lot of times, and I don't want to get into details or anything, but a lot of people question, well, what's really happening? What's on the other side? So this conversation can be focused on your experience. And what's beautiful about it is that you've been into the crypto space since 2015. So if we're in 2025, that's 10 years. And all of that experience from the standpoint of so many people that are newly entering the space, you're what they would call an OG. You've been around for a long time.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Now, one thing that I would say, there's a lot of artists, but you as BitPainter have really established yourself. Now, if you specifically, and you're talking to me now, and actually I'm interviewing you, tell me a little bit more as an artist, what makes your art unique? And how do you make sure it's not something that just like an AI could just generate, or just a machine could just crank them out and spit them out? How do you make something unique for you to create?
Well, I think that the most obvious detail is that my art dedicated to crypto, and not so many artists are doing something crypto related if we'll look like globally. You know, most of the artists, they think that crypto is not something they should pay their attention to, and this gives you advantage. So I have came to this land just like Europeans once came to America. I'm not sure if this is a correct example, but like it gives you a picture. And also, I think that my art is very, very packed with details, which is seen from it. And I think that many, many, many details is something that, well, maybe AI can do this, like doing many many details, but my details, they're my details, they're very good. I like it, I like my art, I like to draw, and this is why I do it. I just like cool art, and I like detailed art. And also if you ask me about the AI and how can I beat it, I know I've been thinking about it for the last 2 years, and many digital artists, they're thinking the same. So how can they beat AI? Because it becomes better and better every day, and many people who used to have a lot of orders for the art, they are now left without their job, because their counterparties, they just take this art out of AI networks. So to compete and to beat the AI, I occasionally hide BTC seeds in my large peaks for people to find and keep the coins. And I'm not sure that any AI network could generate a picture which has Bitcoin seed inside, and so you could solve the puzzle, find the seed, and take Bitcoin.
And that's true. What's beautiful about that, and it is, you mind, one thing that I actually have some of your work here, and I was looking through it, is very, very impressive. And I'd like to share it so the audience can get a little bit of your work. Um, and I'm going to be
Yes,
talking,
please.
I want to actually share, this is a very, very exciting collection, which is the Bards. And this is just one of them. Here's another one, and I have a series of these. And what's interesting is, like, let's say just on this one, this is actually very Bitcoin themed. You see the Bitcoin logo in it, but the concept of the Bard and why the Bard is something important. As you as a reporter, there's story and a philosophy behind these collections, and I'm going to be walking through some of these as you talk a little bit. But genuinely, tell me a little bit more about the Bards, the message, and what's your objective.
Well, the Bards, there will be 33 of them, is a collection that dedicated to crypto journalists and to the truth seeking and to the reporting of the truth to our to our all of our people who are interested in crypto. I think that this collection of bards is showing an example of every journalist who likes the standards, who keeps truth seeking despite all of the risks. Because when you are a crypto journalist who tells the truth, then you take huge risks doing this truthful reporting. And also I get that many people in the space, they think that truth cannot be like monetized, but it can, and it pays well in case you work with right people, and in case you follow the strict journalistic standards. Maybe these are yours, maybe you just took them from some book, but it is very important to be on this wave of reporting the truth, because I'm not going to I'm not going to throw dirt at other journalists, but as you maybe know, the majority of crypto reporting is like it's not pure journalism, and
Mhm.
in many times you can find some like lies in the articles. So it is very important that the truth is in this unregulated crypto space. So the main problem is that it's unregulated. I don't think that it should be regulated, but the fact that crypto is regulated creates the situation where the only people who could guide you through the scams are journalists who take time and do deep research
The
and then
analysis. Yeah.
analysis, and then they post articles, no matter whether they got paid for it or not. They just do their research, and I honestly think that everything in crypto is very dependent on people willing to tell the truth.
One
And
thing that I find.
as
Sorry.
for the special perk, I want to say that this collection, it can get it is not on the blockchain yet. We are planning to roll it out, but when it will be rolled out on a blockchain, then the owners of the bars, it can get you tips to something that we are making behind the scenes right now, and to something that is created for Bitcoiners and also for everybody in crypto who would want to join, and what is connected to like truth, journalism, and to art and Bitcoin, and to sleuthing.
One thing that I find interesting about your statement is, and by the way, I'm looking at the details of these, which is actually, I'm noticing that they're a combination between, I guess they're the bard because they're the musician, but they're almost like warriors because you also have a sword. And then you factor in that
Yes.
they're journalists. So the fact is, a journalist is actually in a war and they're trying to present the truth, but there's so many competing stories. So it is a battle. All of these, you mentioned there's 33 of these?
Yes.
Got it. And what's cool is that each one of these, once it's actually on the blockchain. So actually, we're looking at this before it's actually released. But the person that owns or whoever owns this specific bard that we're seeing here, that's a one of a kind. Once it's actually on the blockchain, it's a token. It's actually a specific piece that that person will own, and it's not just a picture that you own. You will own whatever perks are associated. That's the utility of that piece.
Yes.
Very,
Yeah,
very.
and this perk is it can get you tips, and what is more important, by buying the bards, you support independent and truthful journalists who are standing behind the soul, because it's not just because of me, like it's because of my old friends from crypto, and including you, of course.
Mhm.
So I have a lot of old friends from crypto, and one of them has inspired me, and it's my first NFT collection, by the way. And I made it not just because I love crypto and I love money and I love girls and girls love NFT, but because it was because my old friend from crypto has inspired me, and he said that maybe I should do a collection, and with a deep meaning, and I think that these bards, they represent this meaning, that truthful journalists in crypto, they're like bards, and yes, all of them has swords, not only because they must fight with other journalists for the audience, but also because everybody must have a sword.
Got you. Let me ask you a question while we're in it because you bring up a really interesting point. Now, you are also a crypto reporter, and when you work with that, how do you balance both roles, the crypto reporter, the journalist, and the artist? Because there's two characters there. How do you make a balance between both?
Well, I just make something if it pays. If articles pay, I do the articles. If somebody want to order an art piece, I do the art. So, crypto reporting and blogging, it helps to identify different types of scammers and idiots so that I can avoid them, obviously. And balancing between the two characters is pretty simple. Um, I also like the aspect of being able to communicate with Ukrainian and Russian speaking communities and not just only the English speaking crowd. So and sometimes what is really interesting for all of the artists, no matter whether they use NFT technology or not, is in crypto space. Sometimes people pay you like a lot more money for the art than you ask. I have never experienced this thing in your usual local economy. When you sell pictures to locals, when you sell drawings on canvas or maybe on paper, they usually want a discount and all this
Sure.
shit. Yes, I'm not saying this is very bad, but not so happy about the artist.
Of
But
course.
when you sell some crypto art, people are many times I had this strange and wonderful experience that people want to pay you like 2 or 3 times or maybe 4 times more than you asked. And I think that it's cool. And regarding crypto reporting, articles are not paying as much as pictures, but they're equally interesting to do. And it's my big passion. My heart is all on fire when I prepare my researches. And there were many times when I did pieces and I thought that this article is like a drawing. I had such a feeling many times.
Got it. So the question that I was saying, and by the way, very, very valuable what you're saying. I think one of the things that I gather from our conversation is that when the crypto community buys art, they don't want to go cheap on the artist, but in a way, you're all part of the same community. So it's the crypto community helping the crypto community because the work that you're doing is also growing the crypto community. We're having a conversation around crypto because of your art, which is really valuable. And I'm sure people would want to support that. So congratulations on your work.
Thank you.
My question to you would be, and there's a lot of artists that follow the interviews that I share and the different courses that I teach, a lot of artists that basically look up to other artists. They look at what you're doing. Now, many new artists that may be looking and they're just saying, how does this all, how does this tie in? Can I see myself in this? Are there any words of advice that you would share to other artists like newer? You're 10 years into the game. So a little bit of what you've learned that you may want to share with other people around the world.
To the artists around the world, I want to say, don't get into it. Leave all the money and fame for me. No, I'm just joking. I think
Okay.
that NFT space, it could be an opportunity for you, but keep in mind that you have to have the audience already. NFT platforms are not the audience providers, and
Right.
they are not some super big helpers and not sellers, and they are not going to sell the collection for you. Even despite this is my first collection and I've never sold NFT collections before, despite this, I have sold usual art. So I just sold my canvases, my papers, and sometimes I just made digital art without minting it on blockchains. And I must say that every artist must gather his fans and his audience before before he comes to NFT platforms, because otherwise he may catch this catch uh, see the situation where nobody sees the collection and nobody buys the collection and nobody even know this person. And I think that some NFT proponents, they were claiming like back in 2020 maybe, but anyways, they were saying that any artist could just came to NFT and became rich and became famous. Obviously, this wasn't the case back then, and I think that this is not the case right now. So you have to master skills. Your skills must be Perfect. And you have to master your skills of PR. So your skills of drawing, skills of PR, and only then when you have maybe a tiny audience, but when you have this audience, you come to NFT, and then you can mint your works, and then people who already like you will buy them. I think that it works like this. And I also want to note this interesting thing that right now, like the initial hype that was started a few years ago, I think that is almost dead because NFT space was rife with celebrities and money launderers who
Mm,
kind of spoil the picture. But right now, as we see that American government and many other governments, they turn their face to crypto, and we see that maybe some laws, maybe some regulations will come, and we'll have less of scammers in crypto and in NFT, and more of honest people and interesting people. I think that this is going to happen. I think that this happens right now, despite all of the bad things happening in the world, despite all of the bad things happening in crypto and in Ukraine and in Europe, in United States. I think that good times are coming for crypto. And I think that artists definitely should come and try it. And also, it is an interesting experience because this NFT collection, I just finished it maybe a week ago. And what I have learned from drawing the bards is that it is cool to have the base picture which you take, and then you try and make different interesting variants of it. So
mm,
other faces of the same bard. I think that this is some interesting stuff that NFT may bring to traditional art. Because when you do a portrait, you just make one portrait and you give it to a person, and that's it. And how about if you could draw, like if we translate NFT to the real world, how about making 5 or 10 portraits of the same person? Would it be cool? Would it be like fun? Is this even possible? I thought about things like this while I were doing the collection, and I think that like this 33 bards, I was thinking like, what if the first 10 of them are maybe interesting, but the other ones are look pretty much similar to other bards, and then I understood that while you prepare every picture, even though it looks pretty much the same as other pictures, like in the NFT space, in among NFT creators, they have this word traits, that they used traits,
sure.
but I were not using the automation. I do all of the details and all of the pictures by hand using a Wacom tablet. So I was thinking how to make each bard interesting, how to make each bard uniquely looking, so that you don't have this impression that the artist has just put the bard in some like in some automated system, and it just gave you 32 another bards. So every bard, he was I was thinking a lot on each of them. I was thinking about coloristics, about the name which each bard will hold, and things like this. And this is interesting experience for all of the artists, I guess, because we don't usually do several different versions of the same pic. So you make a pic and that's it. But when you start doing different versions of this pic, then the whole new dimensions opens up to you, and you understand that holy shit, that all of the pictures in the history of humanity, they could be made tens or maybe hundreds of different ways. But important here is not to fall into like not to fall into the thing that I just want some money. I want to make like 500 of or maybe even 5,000 of different bards. No, I think that this should not be working like this. I did pick 33 because it's the age of Jesus Christ. Like, so I thought 33, it's cool. I will make it. I'm sure that every one of them will be unique and interesting. But I think that if that would be like 300 bards, I'm sure that many of them would be boring.
Excellent to know that. Well, BitPainter, thank you so very much for the opportunity to learn more about your work, for being able to see the first, I believe we shared 7 different of these bards. There's a total of 33. And I will be sharing in the description link some links where people can actually find out more about BitPainter's work and learn and keep up what's going on with the different collections with Bard and the previous work that you've done. Very, very interesting, very valuable conversation, Jeff. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to talk with you today.
I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something in the process. I bring you brand new videos every single week, so make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm George Levy. We're changing the world, one blockchain at a time. See you next time.